I think the most important question that you should ask yourself when it comes to paying off your mortgage is, what is going on, everyone? My name is Johnny. I'm a 23-year-old who has made thousands of dollars in stocks and over $100,000 in real estate. And I have done all of this with below average income. So I'm sure if you're watching this, you're trying to figure out whether or not you should pay down your mortgage faster. Well, in this video, I'm going to share why I don't pay off my mortgage early and how I actually make money from doing so. But I don't want to waste your time, so let's go ahead and dive right in. The question of paying down your mortgage has become so complex because what you desire both in the short term as well as the long term affect which path you should end up taking. There are so many factors that someone has to think about when it comes to if you should pay off your mortgage. So my goal is to give you some possible scenarios for both cases and then finally share what I do. There are actually a few reasons why you would want to pay off your mortgage early, and these are based on what you desire most. So what I would encourage you to do is make sure you watch until the end of the video so you can write down these scenarios and then list what your priorities are so that you are confident in your financial decision and not because some random guy on YouTube told you what he is doing. So the reason that you may want to pay off your mortgage early is you're trying to reduce your expenses later on in life. For some people, they like knowing that when they retire, their house will be paid off so they don't have as much expenses when they aren't working. And theoretically, this makes sense. I mean, who would want the same amount of expenses when they retire as they do right now? But I think a question everyone needs to ask themselves is, are they planning on living in their current home for the rest of their life? According to the census data, a person moves on average 11 times in their lifetime. And there are several reasons for this. The biggest reasons are new jobs and lower cost of living. So be honest with yourself and ask whether or not you see yourself living there the rest of your life. For those who will have limited income when they retire, paying off your mortgage may make sense, but otherwise, you may be putting money into a house that you won't own for much longer. The second reason why you want to pay off your mortgage early is if you want to save on your interest payment. Now, the amount of interest on your loan is dependent on the size of the loan and how long the loan is for. And for many people, the amount of interest someone could pay is over $100,000. So paying off your mortgage earlier than the allotted time could free up your money in the future. This does seem like a good decision. However, one thing to consider is, what would you be doing with the extra money? If you do not really have a plan for the extra money, then it might be a good idea to just pay off your mortgage. But what if you were able to actually make more money by not paying off your loan? If your mortgage rate is lower than what you would get by putting your money into the stock market or other investments, then financially, it would make more sense to not pay off your mortgage faster and let your money grow through investing so that you could have more money by the end of it. That way, if you wanted to pay off your mortgage at a later time, you could do that, or continue to grow your investments and just pay off your mortgage like normal. But as we've seen this past year, not every year will be an automatic return of 8%. So you have to be confident in the US economy and invest for the long term if you plan on choosing to invest rather than pay off your mortgage. However, out of all these, there is one reason that I believe could be the most important for many people, and that is to have a peace of mind that you don't need to pay for your mortgage, which is probably your greatest expense. Now, this is something that I firmly believe Dave Ramsey chooses because of what happened to him at such an early age. He simply doesn't trust banks, which is to be expected based off of his past experiences. And maybe you are in a similar boat where you struggle to trust banks or credit unions. I perfectly understand anyone who wants to take this route because for many people, peace is more important to them than money. So those are the reasons someone may consider paying off their mortgage early. Like I said, these are valid reasons. And if someone says that they want to pay off their mortgage early, then I get it because nobody knows what the future holds. But now I want to shift gears and share some of the reasons why you may not want to pay off your mortgage early. As I said previously, what you prioritize most will determine if you should pay off your mortgage early. So keep all these points in mind, and then at the end of the video, take time to assess what your priorities are. And if you have any questions about what I would do, feel free to either comment down below or you can DM me on Instagram at JohnnyOswald64 and I will do my very best to respond to you. So the first reason why you might not want to pay off your mortgage early is if your cash reserves are low. This one is more important than a lot of people think. There is a term that many people use in the finance world called liquidity, which is the availability to access your money. If something were to happen where you needed more cash, it would be very difficult to retrieve that money from your home. Now, the amount of cash reserves you should have will depend on several different factors. And if you're interested in hearing my opinion on how much cash you should have in reserves, let me know in the comments down below. But when you have cash in your bank account or brokerage account, it is much more accessible, especially if you have to come up with funds in a short amount of time. So it probably isn't a good idea to pay off your mortgage early if you have a low amount in your emergency funds. The second reason why you probably shouldn't pay off your mortgage early is if you feel like you aren't contributing enough to your 401k, Roth IRA, and any other retirement accounts. With a 401k, you don't pay taxes on the money you contribute until you withdraw from the account. So the 401k could be a great way to cut your tax bill. With the IRA, the money contributed is after-tax dollars, so your money can grow tax-free. However, there are limitations for taking money out of these accounts before a certain age. So make sure you do your own research on these accounts before contributing to them. But if you feel like you should contribute more toward your retirement accounts, then put as much as you can into those accounts and don't worry about paying off your mortgage early. And this all goes back to what I was saying previously. If you believe that you will make more money investing rather than paying off the interest on your mortgage, and you don't need the money until retirement age, then putting your money into a retirement account could be a great strategy. Another option is to put the money you normally would use to pay off your mortgage and use that money to buy an investment property. If it cash flows, then the money that you make from that property could help you pay for the current property that you have. This doesn't even include the appreciation you could get from that property as well. The third reason for not paying off your mortgage early is that you have higher interest debt. Now, I know that Dave Ramsey has his own philosophy when it comes to which loans you should pay off, but when you pay off the higher interest debt first, you are actually saving money instead of paying off your mortgage. Some of these higher interest debts are personal loans, car loans, or credit card debt. So if you have any debt where the interest rate is higher than your mortgage, my suggestion would be to pay off those loans first. For myself, I don't use any debit cards or cash. I only use credit cards. So I'm constantly making sure that my debt has been paid off. And as long as I stick to my budget, then I will be able to pay off my credit cards every single month. But if you have any high interest debt above your mortgage, I would encourage you to focus on paying those off first before paying off your mortgage. But I think the most important question that you should ask yourself when it comes to paying off your mortgage is, how will you use the money if you don't pay off your mortgage early? Listen, I can sit here and talk about how it makes more financial sense to invest rather than pay off your mortgage. However, for some people, they don't have the discipline to invest. They will get the money in their accounts, and rather than invest, they will spend it on unnecessary items. So take time to be real with yourself and ask the question if you truly have the discipline to invest, or would it make more sense to just pay off your mortgage? When it comes to my wife and I, we own our current home and an investment property in Florida. In our current situation, we don't pay off our mortgage, and here's why. First, we have been able to put our money to work and double our money on several different stocks. But if we paid off our mortgage interest rates, then we would basically only be saving 3 to 4%. Which is nothing. Now, I recognize that the market has been on an amazing run, and some people believe that the market will not grow as fast as 10%. But if I'm picking the right companies, which I've never been more confident in my current investments, then it still makes sense for me to invest rather than pay off my mortgage. With that being said, if you aren't willing to put the time and effort into picking stocks, and you believe that the stock market won't grow as much, then paying off your mortgage may make more sense. However, let me encourage you with this. Over the past 90 years, the S&P 500, which is one of the indices, has increased on average 10% annually. And think about all the things that have happened during this time. There have been world wars, recessions, and global shutdowns. Now, history is not an indicator of future performance, but I think it is still something to consider. And those are my thoughts on whether or not you should pay off your mortgage. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, smash that like button down below. That helps me be able to provide value to more people. And I would love to hear what you do, whether you pay off your mortgage or not. So let me know in the comments down below. Lastly, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you're notified when new content comes out. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.